We spend 24/7. The team is stay close to each other. We will practice 2 times a day mostly. We're practicing out at the pitch in the gym. We will have individual chats. We will have group meetings as well. So I mean that's pretty normal. And also that I'm a new coach as well. Some of the other, obviously Björn and Federico as well. So there was, for me, like it's like of course it's a existing group who's obviously played it with each other last year, but then there's always some additions, and I see it quite normal, but it is important to pay attention to this and involve guys and like integrate them with each other.
Absolutely. Now, coach, you said it was the fans that tipped your decision to move to Kerala Blasters. Now, I've always asked this question to most of the players and the coaches that I've interviewed before for Kerala. The fact that there's such a big fan base, there's so many fans, it's obviously going to be pressure. Now, sometimes when you're playing at home, it's the away team that feels the pressure because the fans are crazy and they're loud and the away team is almost scared to play on that ground. But at the same time, there's a lot of pressure and expectation on you to deliver for those fans, to deliver for this management. A club like Kerala Blasters always wants to win. How do you handle pressure?
First of all, I have to be frank to say that I mean that I'm bored to be a coach actually. So for me, like I started really young, and in that time, like when I managed the young kids, and I had the parents behind me and screaming and yelling and questioning about the place, and it was pressure already then. Actually, frankly speaking, and then of course, I took over, AIK, the first team of AIK, in age of 33 or 34, and that's also a massive club with lots of pressure and demanding fans. And I handled that, and then I came to Gothenburg a few years later, and it was the greatest rival to AIK, and then I can tell you that it was pressure too. So for me, like, it's about to create good habits every day on the pitch. Of course, it's not just me, it's not just the players, it's not just the management and the fans. We have to do it together. But to deal with the pressure, that's part of the job. And if you don't like it, you shouldn't be a coach. And obviously, I'm still a coach after 25 years.
You'd rather have that kind of pressure than have an empty stadium and no one's really bothered. It's pleasure to have that pressure.
Yeah, of
It's
course. I mean that sometimes, it's a fine line between nice and bad things, right? And of course, losing 3-0, that can be really, really hard, and it will be a hard night, right? But I can't see it in that way. I'm a privileged guy that obviously I've been working like a professional coach for many years, and obviously I have been selected to be a coach for this kind of club, and so. I can't see it in a negative way. I have to be optimistic and see it from the bright side.
Bright side. I like how you said that. So tell me, on the bright side, what is your biggest challenge this season?
No, that's the get the team winning, right? I mean that you can play well, and you can draw or lose anyway. But it's like to make a plan who is provoking to the opponent, and also helping us to put pressure to the opponent, and also find a style so we can also use all energy from the fans. I mean that if we play a slow game at our stadium, they won't be beneficial. But can we keep it up and
Play a fast attacking game, counter press, chasing the opponent down. Then like there will be even more crazy atmosphere at the stadium, and then like we will feel that we are playing with maybe with 12 or 13 players instead of 11, and that can be the winning part.
So tell me that you have a preset plan that, okay, you like high intensity, high pace football, but there must be times when, according to the opposition that you're facing, you might adapt differently, you might change your plans differently according to which team you're facing.
Of course, you need first of all you need
your main principles in your game, then and that's not formation. First of all, it's a principle. What do you want in a game? What kind of DNA we want to play with, and that's intensity, compactness, and these kind of things, vertical play. But then we come to formation, and then we have also to deal with the opponent. And then you have to be tactical flexible, both formation wise, but also read the game. Depends on the result in the game, and things happens in the game, and you can't. I mean, I think that's from the past 10 years, football is changing all over the world, and you can't just play your own style for 2 times 45 minutes. You have to adapt as well. But I think if you adapt too much, you lose your style and your own philosophy and soul in the game. So I think it's important to find the balance. But first of all, your principles, then formation, then tactical, flexible, and of course in the game. Okay, if we are 2-0 down or ahead, of course that's influence also the rhythm as well.
All right, so creating that right kind of balance is what you're going with, which seems normal. But tell us, coach, what angers you the most? Like, what is the one thing that Mikhail coach just can't handle? It really angers. Is it players being late for training? Is it someone who I don't know, is not
maybe not giving it the way you want in those 90 minutes on the pitch? What is the one, or someone not maybe understanding your communication during the game? What is that one thing that just makes you really angry, football wise?
Sloppiness.
Sloppiness.
And if you're lazy, and if you always put in maximal effort and try your best every single day, and also in the game, you can't blame anyone, right? That's normal. Everyone fails sometimes. But if you're not focused, if you're sloppy, you're lazy, you're not prepared, then of course, then that's the coach job, to show them the right pathway, right? And that's my job together with the rest of the stuff. But lazy plays, and you can't be afraid if you play in a professional level, and specifically not in this kind of club.
Yeah, but coach, you know what happened last year? I mean,
Although they made it to the knockouts, Kerala Blasters had so many injuries, especially towards the second half of the season. And it's kind of those injuries that have always been the deterrent for Kerala. So there's two things. One is to prevent those injuries, first of all, from happening. And secondly, it's how you handle it. Do you have enough reinforcement? Do you have the depth in the squad? Do you have that motivation to bring those injured players back so they can give their blood and sweat on the pitch? How do you plan on handling that aspect of football?
First of all, if you practice too hard, then in a preventive perspective, then you will most likely be injured in the games or in trainings. If you are loading them too less, then the same effect and the same impact. And for me, it's super crucial that you have a daily and good communication, both with the fitness coaches, but also with the physios and the doctors. And then, at the end of the day, also the players have to be super professional. Regards to the nutrition, to the sleep and these kind of things, and so we can also have a frank dialogue all the time. So we don't push them too much or too less. And then injuries is included in this business, and if you rush too much and you get too stressed about injuries, then that's not good at all, and will be even more problems. Of course, you need depth in your squad, but then you can't plan. You can't plan for extraordinary situations, and so in general, 10% of the squad used to be injured. In general, that's the average. So of course, if you have 25 players, in general you have 2.5 players injured, and you have less than that, that's fantastic, and if you have more than that, that's not perfect. But you have to count with that. You have around 10%.
Absolutely. Okay. Now I'm going to go a little off topic and I'm going to ask you something just random.